Yo, I'm Rajah Mahdi. I'm a rapper from Glassboro, New Jersey.
Trying to be up, cause a nigga been down before. And I met a couple real niggas on the way. They told me I was bound to blow.
I guess you would say the lawns. This is the lawns right here. It's kind of on the the borderline of Glassboro and Elk Township. But I just feel it's important being from an area like this, just because this is an area where it's not really the streets, but it's not really a suburban area. It's like an area that has some history to it. Back in like the segregation times, this is where a lot of the families that were black in this area lived in this area here. A lot of the homes were built by the black families that lived in the area. And there's businesses. There's literally down the street. There's a car shop that's owned by my uncle. Actually, there's a fire hall it's actually right behind here. It's all volunteers from the neighborhood, and it's been here ever since, I don't know, before I was born. And there's right there where there's a park next to my house that used to be a school. And all the family, my grandma went there. A lot of the older families that live here, the like grandparents and things like that went to that school. And I don't know, there's just a lot of history being from areas like this. And I feel like people who rap or even, I guess, just do music in general, sometimes when they're from an area that doesn't have ties to the genre that they do the music in, like they could take hip hop for instance, where a lot of it's street life, and if it's not, trapping, then it's maybe like shooting and getting into gang violence. And some of the times those are legitimate stories from people who have been through those experiences, and they're really just warning you about what you get into when you get into those situations. But people will be from a situation like me, and then they feel like, oh, well, my favorite rapper, he's rapping about this, he's rapping about that, and they got to do that. Again, I'm not saying nobody around here never did anything to, because maybe, it's not the richest area. Like I said, it's a black area, so there wasn't money coming in, but it wasn't always, first of all, if somebody was doing something like, selling drugs or something out here, they're not going to make a lot of money because everything's spaced out. It's not like a bunch of apartments that everybody is living in. Like, literally, people in the situations that they're talking about live in areas where it's feasible. It makes sense. The story actually makes sense. But sometimes people are coming from area, and that's why a lot of people lie in their stories about where they're from, and they'll say they're from the closest city nearby them, and then you find out they're from like the outskirts, and then and then they got cousins that live in the city or something like that, but they're not even really from that, because I feel like people are just trying to sell a story. But if you sell the story about where you're from and what you actually come from, sometimes it's going to stick because people are going to relate. The whole name of the game is relating anyway. So I just feel like it's important to talk about where you're actually from and what you actually went through, and just keep it authentic.